Hey Wycat, it's a pleasure to be able to speak with you again. How are you?
Hi Dashika, I'm good. Welcome to TBM store.
Hey, thanks for having us here, man. It's a really nice store. So thank you for having us here, and I'm so excited to be doing this with you.
Me too.
So Tan Boon Ming is known as a household name for many of us, right? I'm actually interested to hear more about the company, your business model, as well as your role within the organization.
Sure. So TBM is a retailer selling electrical appliances and consumer electronics like televisions, refrigerators, and washing machines. So we have changed a lot along the way from the products that we carry to where we are in the market. So we're no longer just a offline retailer. We're also present online. We have our dedicated customer service and repair center, and we also provide business solutions to hotels and developers. But wherever we are, customer service is always a core part of our customer experience.
Definitely.
So that's us in a nutshell.
Definitely. No, what you said really makes so much sense. And, I believe that customer service is a very critical component for any organization to be successful, right? Maybe you want to tell us more about the origins of Tan Boon Ming as well and your values, especially when you say about customer service in supporting your customers and giving them basically a more enriched experience as well.
Sure. So TBM was founded as a bicycle repair store back in those days by my grandfather, Mr. Tan Boon Ming. So he did this because he wanted to serve the community, which used bicycles as a main transportation at that time. So since then, service has been a core value to TBM, and it's been a winning strategy that's been driving our business for the last 7 decades. Yeah, and excellent customer service is very important to us, and it makes a whole lot of difference to our customers. Our teams work very hard to provide good customer service to our customers, and whether it's providing the right recommendation, installation, or other services like delivery, we want to provide the best solutions to our customers' needs.
Wow, sounds very impressive. And what I'm also very impressed about is the fact that the organization has been around for 70 years,
Right.
7 decades. That's really very, very impressive.
Thank you.
But I think, we're also in a stage now, 70 years on, where we're living in a bit of an unprecedented time with the rise of COVID-19. So I think what we're also seeing in terms of trends is that organizations are seeing a shift in the way they're doing businesses, right? They had to change the way that they're understanding their customers, they're changing the way they're doing their business models, only to better serve their customers and their communities as well. So tell us from your observation, how has this impacted your customers in terms of their purchasing trends and in terms of their behavior as well as their pattern?
When the movement control order was in place, most of our customers quickly shift to the online space because they didn't really have a choice. Our e-commerce business shot up by more than 5-fold during a very short period, and we received tons of private messages from new customers inquiring about products, promotions, and our services. So it was a very different landscape during that time. So we also noticed that during that period, a lot of new customer segments emerged. We have a group of customers who are really new to online purchasing. So they were like probing the trustworthiness of e-commerce, especially for high-value purchases like our products. And then there's always that group of customers that are already very used to online purchasing. But then we noticed that they were trying to become micro sellers themselves.
Right.
So you could tell it from the repeated purchases of the same hot-selling products, by the same group of people. Yeah.
Right.
So it's very interesting.
Yeah.
And then, of course, you also have this group of people who are picking up a new hobby when they have nothing to do at home. So things like baking.
Cooking.
You see products like bread makers, ovens, and toasters shooting up the roof.
Yeah.
And it was very interesting to see that the whole landscape has changed with pockets of new customer segments emerging during that period.
So it sounds like there was a different type of customer behavior that you saw? Like
Right.
within what, a month? You saw
Yes,
some changes
yes,
already,
shortly
right?
within a month.
So was there some sort of contra? Was there a differentiator in terms of how many times more did your online business grow? Like, could you make a differentiation or an analysis based on that?
Yeah, I mean, during April itself, we saw like about a 500% growth in our
Right.
online business.
Right.
Yeah, and then for small appliances, we're seeing we're basically running out of stocks. Yeah,
Right.
during that period.
Okay, so that's good business as well for you as well. So that's
It's a
good
happy
thing.
problem.
It's a happy problem. It's a
Yeah.
good problem to have. So yeah, hey, thanks for sharing that with us as well. But I wanted to also double click on what you've just said, right? You spoke about the challenges faced by basically people in the customer service line, and particularly I want to understand more from a TBM perspective as well, in terms of what did you as TBM or as a business go through with these new kinds of trends that we saw in the market?
Yeah, we definitely face a lot of challenges in terms of business operations. I'm just going to go through a few.
Sure.
So one of the first is the total change of customer expectations. Customers were literally expecting us to be there for them anytime, anywhere. My online team was at war from 8 a.m. in the morning till like 1 or 2 in the midnight. And so they were,
There was probably a change in the market trend as well.
yes,
Yeah?
yes, definitely. The market trend evolved so rapidly. Businesses like ours, we felt like we were drowning in uncertainties and we had to look for something concrete to hold
Yeah.
on to.
Yeah.
And I remember just before the MCO period, one of a very seasoned person in this industry told me that if you gave him R1,000,000 about 10 years ago, he would tell you exactly where to spend the money and get the best returns out of it. But if you gave him the same R1,000,000 today, he wouldn't know what to tell you best. So that shows us how much the market has evolved,
Yeah.
and COVID made it worse.
Yeah. It was very unpredictable.
Right.
I would think.
Yeah, and
Right.
at times we would even think again like whether should we even spend that money, which leads me to my next point, which is limited resources. So we have had big plans for this year, but
Definitely.
because of COVID, we had to pull back a bit, and we had to cut a fair amount of expenses. We had to reprioritize our plans, and some of the plans were also shelved for the year. Yeah, and the question here is how do we remain customer centric
Yep.
despite having all these challenges?
Yep.
And we always had to keep an eye on our finances.
Yep. Yep. So it sounds like you had challenges internally as well as externally, right? And it also tells me then that you had to rework your business model and plans internally and externally, right? So it's how are you empowering your employees? How are you transforming your products? How are you even going to basically penetrate into a new type of the way you do sales as well, right? So maybe let's talk about the internal part first, right?
Sure.
With your team and your workforce at Boon Ming. What was the change management plan that you executed, and how did you do it as well?
Okay. So having a customer-first business model, we were very clear that what were the things that we needed to prioritize and what are the things we need to get out of the way. We have always had O2O in mind, but we always we all know that our online team and our offline team has always been at loggerheads. So we took this COVID opportunity to actually bridge our online and offline functions as much as we could. So via some online sharings, trainings, and meetings, we actually converted part of our offline team to help handle some customer inquiries via social media and messages. And the rest of the team became telemarketers. So they were calling up customers to ask, how they're doing, greeting them, and see if there's anything we could help during that time. Yeah, and we also push very hard on our other core value, which is to embrace change. We challenge our existing staff to form an in-house Facebook Live production team,
Nice.
which was very challenging for most people to face a camera, to be honest.
I can
Right.
imagine.
Yep. And we also tried new collaborations with digital payments solutions. And we, based on the customer insights that we've gotten from the data that we collected over time, we also made in-house videos to demonstrate and promote products to our customers. We also tried to start e-consultation appointments with our product experts, okay, on social media. So I think the more importantly is we've done a lot of things during the COVID period, but most of the efforts that we've done, we have not significantly increased our costs, which was crucial for us.
Yes, no, I totally understand. And what I'm also hearing from you is the fact that whether you realize it or not, but you've also given your team a new set of skills.
Right.
Right. The fact that they had to think on their feet, the fact that they had to be creative, you know, and all in the essence of, you know, I guess, you know, everyone came as a team and work together to make at least some plans work and, you know, to be successful, right? So, you know, kudos to you guys again for that.
Thank you.
The other thing that I heard from you, which I think was quite critical that I wanted to hear more about is, you know, the part about how organizations are also important, and it's very crucial for organizations to adopt a digital approach. And I understand that Tan Boon Ming, I think you guys already foresaw the fact that you might be having a change in customer pattern because, you know, because of the social distancing and all that, and you quickly jumped onto the digital platform, right? So maybe you want to share about that in terms of your digital platform and how that has better helped in understanding your customers and servicing them better as well.
Yeah, we were very lucky that we started investing in digitalization very early on. My father is an advocate of technology, and I've picked that up from him. So I remember when I just started joining the company a few years back, he was very supportive of me preparing the company for the new digital world. So that's what we did. We invested in cloud storages. We invested in productivity tools, corporate messaging tools, and ERP, WMS, and all that. So when COVID really hit us, all the infrastructure was already in place, and all we had to do was just do some fine tuning, and then we were ready to roll again.
Right.
So I think COVID also helped pushed us to further explore some of the modules that we already have purchased, but never really had the time to go and play around with it or fully utilize it. So I think instead of spending more, we were actually making more value out of the investments that we already made.
Right. So basically you utilized everything that you had, and I think one of the key points is the fact that you had the infrastructure, so it was more of a change management as the culture as well.
And also we looked at COVID as also an opportunity for us to test our current workflows and our systems. We put them to test because we got a whole new set of environment influencing factors and business inputs. And so during that period, we found out that, you know, some of our business models and operation flows had issues with them, where we needed to fix them and enhance them.
Right.
So yeah, I'd say that COVID was actually a good agent of change.
No, I agree with you, and thank you for your input as well. Let's talk about data and insights.
Sure.
Right. So I understand that one of the tools that TBM uses to better understand your customer behavior, trends, patterns is Dynamics 365, right? So how has that helped you in terms of customer service as well?
One thing I would like to say is that when we were going through previewing the system with ADS, one of the things that we really liked about Dynamics 365 was that most of the modules and features were constantly being updated based on market needs and the latest technological improvements. And we've also find it very helpful that most of the systems that we use are all parked under one roof. With they're all sharing the common database effectively and seamlessly, compared to when we had everything integrated, different systems integrated. We had problems, issues with integration, and also allocation and planning of resources is key to delivering good customer service.
Right.
So the transparency of data across multiple functions in our company also allowed our staffers to across different departments to actually operate seamlessly.
Right.
Yeah, and not to forget, Dynamics 365 also binds our staffers, our people together, because they have to speak the same language in terms of operations.
So it helps with synergy,
True.
Teamwork, collaboration,
Yes, precisely.
And productivity as well, I would
Exactly.
think, right?
Yep.
So, hey, thank you so much. So I think we've just come to the tail end of it all, but I want to hear your thoughts on this. Moving forward, right? What do you think are the expectations in the customer service for our customers and in the industry in totality?
As a consumer myself, I think that technology has given us a very convenient lifestyle. And with the world of AI and 5G just around the corner, I think customers are going to look forward to more personalized services and solutions. Just look at our mobile phones.
Yeah.
Every piece of search results, news and ads are actually tailored to us.
Yeah.
Right? So customers are going to look for more of such personalized content.
Yep.
And for the future purchases, whether it's a product or service, they're going to ask for more. And when we design a platform or a product or service, we have to always keep in mind to stick to the basic rules that customers are always first. They're going to be asking for more conveniences. For example, like one touch or one click of a button, and voila, everything happens.
Yeah.
So the question here is, how do we convert those key insights into actionable things?
Yeah.
And how do we effectively collect data so to guide ourselves into the future and to become more agile? Right.
True. And if I can just summarize that, what I hear from you is the fact that businesses need to be innovative.
Right, definitely.
We also need to be able to understand and have the right tool to understand the data and insights. And I think we need to take actionable solutions to better serve our customers.
Right.
Right? Hey, thank you so much for being with me today and having this conversation with me. I've enjoyed this. Thank you so much. I've learned so much from you as well. Till we meet again, I guess I just have to say thank you.
It's my pleasure.
And catch up with you soon.
Thank you
Take
very
care.
much, Ashika.